Good morning, all of you. Now we are back with the chapter Electoral Politics. And the chapter name is Electoral Politics. Now, next topic is it good to have political competition? As we have discussed yesterday, that election is a mechanism through which we choose our representative. But how can we say that elections are good or bad? Elections are all about political competition. And this competition takes various forms. And the most obvious form is the competition among political parties at the constituency level. Constituency means a geographical area. For the election purpose, we can divide country into different geographical units, and each unit is called constituencies. So when we are talking about the constituency, it takes the form of competition among several candidates. If there is no competitions, you can easily understand that elections will become pointless. But is it good to have political competition? Of course, an electoral competition has many demerits. It creates a sense of disunity and factionalism in every locality. We can just see that how people divide among various political parties. Different political parties and leaders often level allegations against one another. Parties and candidates often use dirty tricks to win elections. And some people say that this pressure to win electoral fight does not allow sensible long-term policies to be formulated. And some good people who may wish to serve the country do not enter this arena. They do not like the idea being dragged into unhealthy competition. As you can see, various images here on Parliament, how a member of Parliament is sleeping. The great election tamasha, different rallies. Now after that, still, our constitution makers were aware of these problems, yet they opted for free competition in elections as the way to select our future leaders. They did so because this system works better in the long term. As yesterday also we have discussed that if there will be no elections, what will be the criteria to choose our representative? Who will form the government? Who will take decisions? So in a way, it tries to improve the knowledge character of political leaders. The most and realistic way is to set up a system where political leaders are rewarded for serving the people and punishment for not doing so. So if a political party is motivated only by a desire to be in power, even then it will be forced to serve the people. Political competition may cause divisions and some ugliness, but it finally helps to force political parties and leaders to serve the people. Because that is a career. Political leaders all over the world, like all other professionals, are motivated by a desire to advance their political careers. They want to remain in power or get power and position for themselves. So they may wish to serve, but it is risky to depend entirely on their sense of duty. How do we deal with this real situation? And for this, we are having a proper system, and that system is called election. So election is necessary in a democratic country. Now we will discuss about what is the system of elections in India. Can we say that Indian democracy elections are democratic? To answer this question, now we just take a look at how elections are held in India. But before starting this, we will just see different types of elections. Lok Sabha and Vidhan Sabha. Lok Sabha for the entire nation, Vidhan Sabha for the particular state. Elections are held after every 5 years. After 5 years, the term of all elected representatives comes to an end, and the Lok Sabha and Vidhan Sabha stands dissolved. Now we will discuss about types of elections. Number one, general elections. General election means when elections are held in all constituencies at the same time, either on the same day or within a few days, this is called a general elections. After that, midterm elections. Midterm election means when legislature is not able to complete its tenure. Tenure means period. Like in India, it is 5 years. When legislature is not able to complete its 5 years, in that conditions, elections will be held called midterm elections. At the national level, we are having midterm elections in 1980. Earlier, in 1977, elections were held, that was general elections, but in 1980, again, elections were held, that is called midterm elections. Now, by-elections. When we're talking about by-elections, this is only for the particular constituencies. Like sometimes election is held only for one constituency to fill the vacancy caused by death or resignation of a member. This is called by elections. So today we have discussed about types of elections, and tomorrow we'll discuss about system of elections in India.